everybody. Today we will discuss about the representation of the DSP algorithm using the graphical representation, and in the previous lecture we have discussed that in the graphical representation there are the different types of the representation, like the block diagram representation, signal flow graph representation, data flow graph representation, and dependence graph representation. We have also discussed that any DSP algorithm in general that is said to be the linear time invariant system and that is causal in nature can be represented with the help of a mathematical equation, and that mathematical equation was represented something like in this manner, that if this is the LTI system here, LTI DSP system or the digital signal processing system, then and this system is subjected to any input, say the xn, and if the corresponding output of this system is yn, then in general mathematically it is represented in such a manner that represents a relation between the input and output, and it is equal to the something like in this manner, that is the yn is equal to minus of the summation of the a case yn minus k plus summation of the b case x n minus k, and here the limit will be considered from 1 to say n, because when k is 0 it was considered as the a0, and we have assumed that a0 is equal to 1, so it has been represented something like in this manner. And similarly we have considered the limit for here starting from 0 to the n. This is the representation of the digital signal processing, that is the LTI system. And now this LTI system is this one here, we are representing the mathematically this LTI system by this representation here, and it is named as the mathematical representation. Mathematical representation. And what is the role of the mathematical representation? If we are interested for the functional, to describe the functional behavior or the functional characteristics of any system here, it means it has to be represented with the help of the mathematical representation. It will represent here the functional behavior of the system. Functional behavior of the system will be represented with the help of the this mathematical representation here. Now suppose we are interested only for the functional representation and we are not interested for the order and the architecture of the system here or the algorithm, then that algorithm or that concept should be represented with the help of the mathematical representation. But if we are interested for the architectural description here, then for the architectural description, that is if we are interested for the architectural behavior or the architectural representation of any system, then for the architectural representation we have to represent this mathematical representation using here the new representation that is named as the behavioral representation. And behavioral representation, that is the behavioral language representation or the behavioral graphical representation. So if we are interested for here the architectural description, then we have to use either the behavioral language description or we have to use the behavioral graphical representation here. And now suppose we are using here any one representation, then in the behavioral language representation we have to use the different types of the language, like here the first one is named as the applicative language. We have described this one in the previous lecture also. that the same algorithm has to be described using the applicative languages, and these representations are known as the behavioral languages representation here, or the second one is the prescriptive language description, and the third one is the descriptive language description here. So at the higher level, any DSP algorithm can be represented using the mathematical representation if we are interested only for the functional behavior, and if we are interested for the architectural behavior here, then for the architectural behavior the mathematical representation has to be represented either using the behavioral languages representation or the behavioral graphical representation of the algorithm here. Now if we come to this one here, that is the second one. Suppose we are interested for the behavioral graphical representation, then these graphical representations have some special features over the languages here. And what are those features here? If this feature, that is the behavioral graphical representation, is efficient to investigate and analyze the data flow property or the behavior of the algorithm. So for the efficient investigation and analysis of the data flow property here, that is, if we are interested for the efficient analysis or the data flow investigation, then for that purpose we have to use which type of the representation? That is related with the behavioral graphical representation here. And one more thing, that when we are using the graphical representation, then it is more important to this one here, that it maps here the whatever is the algorithm, that is the algorithm will be mapped, it will map to here the architectural implementation. It means if we are interested to implement any algorithm for its for the architectural implementation, then for that purpose we have to use here the behavioral graphical representation. Means here it will work like a bridge between the DSP algorithm and its architectural implementation, or we can say it will fulfill the gap between the DSP algorithm and the architectural implementation. So we can say the behavioral graphical representation is efficient in order to investigate and analyze the data flow property of the algorithm, DSP algorithm, as well as it is here the more important way to map the DSP algorithm for the architectural implementation, or it minimizes the gap of the between the the development of the DSP algorithm and its implementation. And now we will describe here what are the different types of the graphical representation here. Graphical behavioral description, these are categorized into the four categories. The first one is named as the block diagram representation, and the second one is the signal flow graph representation. Third one is the data flow graph representation. And the fourth one is the dependence graph representation. So here there are the four ways by which we can represent the DSP algorithm using the behavior description here, graphical behavior description, and these are the block diagram representation, signal flow graph representation, data flow graph representation, and the dependence graph here. Now if we use here the first one, that is the block diagram representation, and if we say we consider the same algorithm, that is the yn is said to be the summation a case yn minus k plus summation of the b case x n minus k, and k starts from 1 to say n. Here the k starts from 0 to say m. Then if we use here the Z transform, as we have discussed in the previous class, that in order to transfer the functional description of the DSP algorithm from the time domain to the frequency domain, we have to use the Z transformation here. Now if we apply here the Z transformation, and then if we calculate here the Hz, that is system function of the DSP algorithm, then that will be represented something like in this manner, that is the yz upon xz, and here we have assumed all initial conditions as equal to the 0. This will become here the summation of the vk z to power minus of the k starts from 0 to m, and in the denominator it becomes 1 plus a case z to power minus of the k is starting from 1 to n here. Now these are the representation here, that is in the first case it is represented by something like in this manner, that is using the, this is named as the transfer function or the system function, and this is the here the functional description of the algorithm in the time domain. Now if we are interested to draw the block diagram corresponding to these representations here, then we can directly derive the architecture using the first concept. Here we are just going to describe the concept of the graphical representation, and amongst the graphical representation we will consider the block diagram representation here. Now if we consider the first one, that is the representation of this equation, here the equation is represented something like in this manner. Say this is the input. As we have discussed in the previous class, that in order to represent these equations, the different types of the functional blocks are required. And what are the functional blocks? Here are the functional blocks that are required. Since there is summation series, means whatever is the partial product or whatever is the product, that has to be added to the previous result here. So the first functional block will be the adder. Here the adders are required, and the second one is the multiplier, because we are considering here the whatever is this term, that is the signal multiplied by the coefficient and multiplied by the signal. So the next one is the multiplier, and the third one is, since there is delay in the information, the delay, or we can say this is the memory, delay or the memory. And now we will consider here the different representations for the different functional blocks here. These are the functional blocks which will be used. And these functions, there are the three types of the functional blocks which will be utilized in order to represent the graphical representation of the DSP algorithm using the block diagram representation. And in addition of the functional blocks, there must be the edges. Here the edges, and these edges must be the directed edges here. That is the directed edges here will be utilized something like in this manner in order to represent the signal flow, that is the signal is flowing from this direction to this direction here. Now adders will be represented something like in this manner, that is this is the symbol of the adder here. We just use here this one, say this is the adder, representation of the adder here, and say this is one signal and this is the second signal here. So this is the x1n and this is the x2n. Then after operation here, when this functional block will operate on these two signals, then we will get a signal that is said to be the here the yn or the response, that will become here the x1n plus x2n here. Similarly, we can consider here the multiplier, and in order to represent the multiplier, we can consider here the two signals. Say this is the signal here, and it is say xn, and say it is multiplied by any coefficient b, then this will become here the response will become b times x of the n here. Now the third one is memory or the delay. As we have discussed in the previous class, that the memory or the delay may be represented by a D flip-flop. That is, if this is the input here xn, then this will be delayed by 1 unit, and this will become here the xn minus 1. Or this can also be represented as something like in this manner, that is, this is the here the say z to power minus of the 1, because when we consider here the z transformation, then delay of 1 unit will be represented by z to power minus of the 1 here, and this is the xn, this will become the xn minus 1. So here these are the representations of the different functional blocks here. That is, the adder will be represented by here the adder is represented by this one, that is this is the representation of the adder here, and multiplier is represented by this representation here, and then delay either by this one or by this representation here. So these are the different blocks, functional blocks, that will be used in order to represent the block diagram of the DSP algorithm along with the directed edges here. Now we will consider the general example of the DSP algorithm in order to represent it, and first we will derive this equation from the graph here directly, and not the graph, but the graph will be derived directly from the given functional representation. And what is the functional representation? This is the yn is equal to minus summation of the, say this is the a case yn minus k plus summation of the b case x n minus k, and k starts from 1 to say value n, and here that say k starts 0 to n. Now we can represent this one, that is the input is say xn, and say this is the yn. Say this is the yn, something like this manner here. Now in order to represent the this term here, what are required? First, whatever is the xn, it has to be multiplied by, for the k equal to 0, b naught, then xn, this will be multiplied by the b naught, and then whatever is the value here, suppose we consider this one by the delay, and say we have taken this signal here, that is the typing is there, this will be the xn, and say this is multiplied by the bn, then we will get here the bn xn, and next suppose this is delayed by 1 unit, and for the delay purpose, say we are using here the capital D, or we can also use the z to power minus 1 here, then this will become here the xn minus 1. So whatever is the value, that will be multiplied by B1, B1 here, again delayed by 1 unit, D, then this signal will be multiplied by B2 and so on. Say the last one is, this is the delay here, and this signal is, this is the last one, that is the K is equal to M, so this will be multiplied by the Bn, right? And now these terms has to be added in order to get this total term here. So whatever is the response here, this will be considered as the input here to add, then whatever is this one, this will be added here, this will be added to the previous one, this will be added to this one here, and finally we will get this term here. Suppose this is the second term, and this is this represents the second term here. Suppose this second term is say represented by any new term, that is the V1 here, then this will become the V1n here. Now in this one, what is happening? Whatever is the xn multiplied by the Bn, delayed by 1 unit, multiplied by the B1 xn minus 1, and it is added to the previous one. Similarly, all the terms are delayed and multiplied by corresponding coefficients, and they are added to the previous results, and hence we are getting here the second term here. That is, if we are interested in order to represent this one here, that is this section will be represented by this term here, that is this one here. The second term will be represented by this one here. Similarly, the first term, in order to represent the first term, we have to consider this one, that is the say here the response is yn, so the first k is equal to 1, so this will become the yn minus 1. So whatever is the yn, this yn will be delayed by 1 unit, say d, and after delay, whatever is the response of this one, that will become the yn minus 1, and it will be delayed, and then this will be multiplied by minus of the a1. This is multiplied by a1, minus of the a1 here. Similarly, the next one again, n yn minus 2, because if it is delayed by 1, yn minus 1, next delayed by 1 unit, it will become the yn minus 2, and now this will be multiplied by minus a2, and so on. The last one is, say we come to the last term here, that is the, say this one is the delay here, and finally say this is the n here, so this will be multiplied by the minus of the an. Now again these terms will be added in order to get the previous one here. Suppose this is added to this one here, something like in this manner, and then this will be added to this one, and finally this will be added to this term, the first one, in order to get the yn here. So here by the second representation we are getting the second term here, that is this term here will be represented, the second term is this one here, this is the second term, and we are adding these terms in order to get the complete term here, that is this one is the second term representing here. So now if we see, then we will find there are the two sections. The first represents this section here related to the xn. The second section represents to the first term. Now the same can be also considered, that if the total system is, say here the system is represented something like this manner, that this is the input and this is the system, say that system is represented by the H of the Z, and input is the here the Xn, and the output is the Yn, that is the Yz upon Xz is the Sz. Then in this case we are getting that Hz is nothing but it is a cascading of the two sections, that is the H1Z and the H2Z. Here this one may be considered, that is the first one input then output. Suppose this is the V1 n here, then the input of this one is the Xn and output of this one is the V1n here. So this will represent here the H1Z, and the second section will represent here the H2Z. That is this total is a system, the first system, and this is the second system, subsystem of the systems. So here this is a cascading, that is the first section. This may be represented something like in this manner, that is the whatever is the system here. The first one is the H1Z and the second one is the H2Z. And hence the total we are getting here the Hz, and this is the Hz here. Hz is represented by this one here, and the input is the Xn and the output is the Yn. So this is the representation of this one. And as we know, in the case of the cascading, we can change the position of the subsystem here. Then the performance will remain same here in terms of the gain, etc. here. Now suppose we change the positions here. Then after changing the position, what will be the new representation? That will become here something like in this manner. That is the H2Z, and then the output of the H2Z is given as the input to the H1Z, and this is the Xn and this is the Y. Now the system will remain same here in both the cases. Right? So if we consider this type of the representation, that is the here we are changing the H1Z location and position of the H1Z and the H2Z. Then what will happen? This delay series, this total one will be at the first location and the first term will be at this location. We interchange the position and location of the system here. Then we will get that the first has this delay series here, something like in this manner. Now this may be represented something like in this manner here. That we will represent here the delay this is the delay D, and delayed by this one multiplied by minus of A1, again delay multiplied by minus A2. We are representing this one here, and again so on, and we are saying the final delay is this one here, and now this will be multiplied by minus of the AN, and then we have to add these terms here. In order to get the response here. Similarly, we can change here the position of the first one will be towards this side, and the second one will become here the something like in this manner, that is there will be a delay series DCN in the first one. Now we are just trying to represent this section here, that is the delay and then multiplied by the coefficient delay and like that here. That is we are taking here the delay, then this will be multiplied by V1, again delay multiplied by the V2 and so on up to the say the last one is this delay here and multiplied by the V of the M, and similarly whatever is the output, this will be added here, this will be added to this one, and finally we will get here the this input signal is added to this one here, and this is the Xn and this is the Yn here. So what is happening? We have just changed the position of the H1Z and the H2Z here. See, this is the position of the H2Z, and here this one is the position of the H1Z. So the performance will remain same here. We have just changed H1Z, H2Z in cascade manner. Cascade means whatever is the output of the H1Z, that will be considered as the input to the H2Z. Now we have changed the position, that is the H2Z first and then H1Z. And similarly we have represented this one in this case here, that we have changed the position of the H2Z first and then H1Z. Whatever is the output of the H2Z, now that will be considered as the input to the H1Z here. Now if we again see, then we will find there are the two parallel branches or the two parallel columns here having the delays here. This is completely added to this one. Now if there are the parallel branches, means whatever is the signal here, the same will be the here, and same will be signal at this level and this level, this level and this level, and so on. Now we can merge these two delay branches or the delay columns here. That is the, we consider these two delay columns here, and these two delay columns may be merged into one delay because the performance will remain same here. So we will get here this type of the architecture, that is something like in this manner. That is the, here now there will be the a series of the delay due to the merging here, and towards this side we will get the minus of the A1, and this side this will become the B1, like that. Delay minus A2, this side will become here the B2, and so on. Now the last delay, there must be how much delay? Whatever is the larger value, whether the M or the N. Now suppose the N is larger than, greater than M here, then say this one is the MF delay here, and this will become here the BM, and finally we will get here the last delay, that is the say this is the related to the N, and similarly here this will become the minus of the AM, and now we will get here the minus of the AN, like that. We will get here the summation of this one. Now this will be added to the previous one, and finally this is the input xn, and now in this branch, that is towards the right side, there must be how much delays? Only the D delays. So we are taking only the M delays. So we are just considering here the M coefficients corresponding to this one, starting from the B0 to Bm, because we have considered that N is less than N. So here whatever is the output, that will be added to this one here, and this will be added to this one, and finally we will get here the, after addition we will get here the output Y. And this will become here the Yn. So this is the representation of the same algorithm here. Now we will consider, we will see that there are the two types of the block diagram representation for the same mathematical representation, or for the same algorithm here. Or we can say, if we use this algorithm here, that is the Yn is equal to minus of the A k is Yn minus k plus summation Bk x n minus k. K is, for the first term k is from 1 to n, and for the second one it is from 0 to here the m. Then we will, this algorithm, this mathematical algorithm or the mathematical description can be represented first by this graphical representation here. Since here we have just described this graphical representation directly from the equation, that's why this representation will be known as the direct form representation, and since this is at the first stage, that's why it is named as the direct form 1 architecture of the DSP algorithm. And presently we are discussing which type of the algorithm? IIR, corresponding to the IIR here. Now, if we apply here the some concepts of the cascading, that is, if we change the location and position of the H1 jet with the H2 jet here, or we interchange their position here, then the same can be represented by this one here, the first H2 jet and then H1 jet here. Now, by applying this concept, here we have changed the positions of the H2 jet and the H1 jet. Now, after changing the position of the H2 jet and the H1 jet, what is happening? Now, we will see that there are the two columns or the two branches of the delay. So, the second one is redundant, and these two branches can be merged in one branch here. So, what is happening in this case? The memory elements or the memory devices or the delay devices are less in comparison with the first one, and hence we will get this type of the architecture here. Now, after combining, after merging these two branches here, we are getting the new architecture, but that is again related to the direct form. So, this will be named as the direct form second realization architecture, that is the realization here. So, we are discussing here the realization of the algorithm, and in this algorithm we have discussed the two direct form realization. First one is the direct form 1, that has been directly derived or drawn from the mathematical description or the functional description here, and then after applying the concept of the cascading, we have reduced the number of the memory elements, and here if the n is greater than m, then naturally m number of the memory elements will be reduced in this case, and this will become the second architecture, and this will be named as the direct form 2 architecture here. Now, there are some more representations, like the second one is the parallel form representation. For example, say if there is any representation of the SZ. This SZ may also be represented something like in this manner, that is, say there is any constant A, then multiplied by H1Z, H2Z, H3Z, and so on. As we know, if we are interested in order to design any system, then if we have derived the order of that system, then that system should be represented using the first order section and the second order section, because if the order is very high, then in that case what happens? In the higher order cases, here the system is more sensitive to any environmental changes or any parametric changes here. So, in order to avoid these changes or this type of the sensitivity which are unwanted here, we break the total system into the first order section and the second order section. That is the SZ, or here the system function will be represented using the first order section and the second order section, using the approach of the cascading here, and this is named as the cascade realization here. Cascade realization. The first step was the direct form realization, having the two types of the realization, that is the direct form 1 and the direct form 2 here. In the second case, we can consider here the cascade realization, and in the cascade realization, Hz will be represented by the H1Z, H2Z, like that here. Here the any Hkz, that is for the any value of the k, this may be represented something like in this manner. Either that will become the first order section or the second order section. That is, if this is the first order section, then the first order section here, as we know, if we again come to the mathematical representation here, then we will find that the mathematical representation of the algorithm is this one here. The yn is equal to minus or summation ak yn minus k plus bk xn minus k, or in the Z form, we have represented this one something like in this manner. That is the using that Z form representation. Here the Hz will be represented something like in this manner. That is the Hz is equal to summation of the Bkz to power minus of the k. K starts from 0 to m divided by here the 1 plus summation of the ak z to power minus of the k, and k starts from 1 to say value of the n, and generally we consider n is greater than n here. Now for the first order section, if we are interested for the first order section, then how the Sz will be represented. First order section means here the delay value of the k must be, the higher value of the k must be equal to the 1 here. So here the Hkz will be represented something like in this manner. That is the, this will become the starting from the 0, that is the V naught, and z to power minus 0, that will become 1, and then V1 z to power minus of 1 divided by 1 plus A1 z to power minus of 1. So first order section will be represented mathematically by this representation here. That is the first order section here. Say this is the first order section here. And similarly, if we are interested for the second order section here, then the second order section can be represented something like in this manner. That is the Hkz. Hk, or better will be to write this side here. That is the second order section. This may be represented as the Hkz, something like in this manner. That is starting from 0 to 2 here. So this will become the V naught plus V1 z to power minus 1 plus V2 z to power minus 2 divided by 1 plus A1 z to power minus 1 plus A2 z to power minus 2. Now if we are interested in order to represent this section, that is the first order section and the second order section here, then these first order section and second order section may be represented using the direct form 2 representation here. So in the direct form 2 representation, if we use the direct, why we are using the direct form 2? Because it has the lesser memory element, so the area requirement will be lower here. So this one, if we consider the direct form 2 realization for the first order section, then the first order section will be represented something like in this manner. That is the, here this will be the, there will be only one delay element D, and this is related to the minus A1, and this is will be here the V1, and this will be added. This is a typing point here, xn, and again this will be added here, and this will be multiplied by the V naught here. When we use the multiplying elements, these are the multipliers here, and these are the adders, and this is the delay or the energy storing device. That is related to the which one? That is the first order section represented by this graph here. Similarly, if we are interested for the second order section here, then for the second order section, this will be represented something like in this manner. Say we are using here the different color for this one, and this will be, there will be the delay. How many delays must be there? 2. So 2 delays are required, and this will be the minus A1. This will become here the V1. Similarly, this will become here the minus A2, and this will become here the V2. And after adding both sides, we will get here the representation of the second order section, and this is the xn and the yn. We can also write it the xz and the yz also in place of the xn and the yn if we are representing them in the z transform. Or if we are representing them in the time domain, then we can write the xn and the yn here. So this is the second order section and this is the first order section representation, and now mathematically this will be represented by this equation here, and these are the equations which are using here in order to represent this one here. Say this is the graphical representation for the first order section and this is the mathematical representation of this one here. Similarly, the second one is here, say this is the, we are using this one as the second order section here, and this is the graphical representation of the second order section. So in the cascade form realization, here the system may be represented something like in this manner, that is the Hz is multiplied by A multiplied by H1z, H2z. A is any DC gain here. So and Hkz, any Hz may be represented either by the first order section or the second order section. And for the representation of the first order section, we will utilize this type of the mathematical equation, that is having one delay, and for the second order section we will use the two delays, and corresponding mathematical description and the graphical representations are given there here. Now if we are interested for the parallel form realization, the third one is the parallel form realization. Parallel form realization. In the parallel form realization, we have to represent the Sz something like in this manner. That is, say there is any constant value of the C plus summation of the, say, Ak divided by 1 plus Pk and Z and Pk Z to power minus of the 1, where the C will be the equal to the, in this case C is nothing, but the C will become here, now C here the mathematical representation, that becomes the B case upon the A case here. So here the, if the numerator power is larger than the denominator power here, at that time we will get some value of the C, that is that this will become here the Bn by An here, and the P case Ak is any constant value here, Ak is any constant value here, it is a constant, and P case are the poles related to this one. So this is the parallel form realization, that there will be the any value of the C, and then there will be the different form, parallel form summation. Here the K will start from 1 to, say, the order, maximum order is the N, that is the N is greater than M here, and we have considered the order as N. Then if the Bn by An is equal to C, then at that time we can represent the Hz by this one here. That is how it will be represented. This will be represented something like in this manner, that is, say this is the input here, then this value will be multiplied by the C here, and then another values, say this is the H0z or the H1z, and then H2z and so on, here the H1z, and then this will become here the H2z, like that here. Or we can say we are just putting here the H1z, and then in this one H2z, like that here. Say this one is the Hk, not here, just less than 1, say the N minus 1 Z, and say the last one is This one is the H and Z here. Then whatever is the responses, they will be added here. This response will be added here to get the output Y. And this is the S time. Now we will get that we are getting here the parallel form realization having the any value of the C and then H1Z, H2Z and like that here, and we have represented this one as the HKZ. This is the related to the HKZ here. That is the HKZ. When K is considered 1, this will become the H1Z, H2Z like that here. So in this lecture we have discussed that if we are interested to represent the functional behavior of any system, then for the purpose of the description of the functional behavior, the algorithm or the concept of the DSP will be described with the help of the mathematical equation. And if we are interested for the graphical representation, then, and as we know, if we are interested for the here the architectural description or the architectural behavior of any system, then architectural behavior of any system can be represented either using the behavioral language representation or using the graphical representation here. And in the language representation, we have discussed that we have to use the three types of the language. One is the applicative language, second is the prescriptive, and the third one is the descriptive language. Applicative language like the Sciless, MATLAB, these are the examples of the applicative languages. Descriptive language like the VHDL, Verilog, these are the examples of the descriptive language. Prescriptive like the C, Pascal, etc. These are the prescriptive languages here. But if we are interested for the efficient analysis of the data and investigation of the data related properties, then for that purpose we have to utilize the graphical representation. And there is one more important additional advantage with the graphical representation, and that one is here whatever is the algorithm that can be mapped to the architectural the implementation of the system here. It means the graphical representation minimizes the gap between the DSP algorithm and its implementation. And in this description we have used the graphical representation, and in the graphical representation we have selected the four types of the representations. One is the block diagram representation, second one is the signal flow graph representation, and the third one is the data flow graph representation, and the fourth one is the dependence graph representation. And among these four graphical representations, in this lecture we have selected the block diagram representation. And using the block diagram representation, we have represented the algorithm, that is the LTI DSP algorithm, or the IIR, or the infinite impulse response system. In the next lecture, we will discuss some examples in order to represent these examples using the direct form 1, direct form 2, cascade form realization, and the parallel form realization. And then we will also discuss here the different representation of the algorithm using the FIR filter. One more thing which we have observed here, that for the same algorithm we can use the different architecture here. Different architecture means different way of the implementation. So the same functional behavior can be realized in the different manners, or that can be implemented using the different types of the realization, different types of the architecture. So this is about this lecture, and in the next lecture we will discuss about some examples and the graphical representation of the FIR, or the finite impulse response system. So thank you very much.